Humanity should be extinct. This is not a statement out of anger or envy. It is a simple fact. A fact that all civilizations know and have seen numerous times from fledgling species trying to reach the stars. The problem with FTL travel is not so much the capability to exceed the speed of light, although it is no achievement to scoff at. No. The true problem lies in navigation and the ability to change course. My people have seen this problem, witnessed it, and suffered for it. Sure, it is easy enough to plot a course and not hit a planet or get pulled into a star. Not only are these far in between, they are more often than not predictable in their movements and visible using telescopes and long-range scanning equipment. The problem lies in the smaller bodies in the universe. Comets, wandering ice clouds, solar flares, supernovas, or even other ships themselves are a real danger when you are travelling at speeds no biological mind and body can react to in a timely manner. Once a species reaches speeds above the speed of light, the necessity of computer aid becomes paramount. As far as currently known, the only substitute possible is a direct neural connection to the ship itself, and even then no currently known species possesses the reaction time needed to witness the threat, analyse it, decide on a course of action, and then transmit those commands in a reliable manner. It is a cruel irony that the desire to reach the stars often leads to a species dying without ever leaving their own. Many species who invest in their computer technologies for this purpose take it too far. Instead of creating virtual assistants, they often created true artificial intelligence. My people have made this mistake as well, and we survived only because the technology was developed on a colony world, far away from our home planet. We lost the colony, together with all 3.2 billion Noferi that inhabited it, and nearly the war itself. The sacrifices we made simply to survive that apocalyptic event are well known, and taught to every child receiving education lest we ever make the same mistake again. As we made first contact with the Republic of Lixar, we were somewhat relieved to learn we were not alone in our mistakes. When we learned we were respected for, although technologically lacking, defeating an artificial intelligence, we jumped to the opportunity to join the Order of Life, an order made explicitly to fight artificial intelligence no matter where it rose, to combat every life eater before they became too powerful to defeat. The Noferi people have fulfilled this role with pride, at times devoting no less than 70% of our military forces to this cause. We had nearly destroyed ourselves by our foolishness, and we would rather jump into the void itself before we let others suffer like we did. One might imagine that we are not always greeted as liberators. Often paranoia takes over, and the fledgling species we are trying to save from itself mistrust us, believe we are trying to deny them their rightful place among the stars. Usually this is a very temporary problem, as we simply give them technology that is not sentient and welcome them as friends among the stars. And so it was that my division was called to a forgotten little corner of the Svitori galaxy, which, in and of itself, contained very little life. We received our briefing on the primates that inhabited the third planet orbiting the star TB-48697. A fairly standard briefing, all considered. Technologically behind on the rest of the galaxy, on the verge of reliable FTL travel capabilities, 2 basic orbital stations without any weaponry, and some colonies within their solar system. A probe had detected quantum computations typical of artificial intelligence, and after further probing it was determined that their artificial intelligence was either already sentient or on the verge of becoming so. And so we travelled to TB-48697, shields raised and troops strapped into their drop pods. We exited our FTL lane, close to the 6th planet from the star, per protocol hiding our readings in the ring of ice rock and small moons while we conduct more thorough scanning of the system. I remember well when the alarms went off, as I was unfortunate enough to be the one tactical officer that was relieving himself when it happened. For any reader that is not familiar with Noferi biology, our bodies build up waste, meaning that we only relieve ourselves once every 3 planet cycles. But when we do, stopping is not really possible. It was for this reason I was relieving myself, seeing how this would be my last opportunity until the threat was dealt with. As I ran to my station and found my seat, I was baffled by what the scanner showed me. Small ships moved in our direction, from every planetary body, moon, and even some asteroids. My confusion soon turned to terror as our communications officer reported none of the ships showed any life signs, not a single one. The Admiral immediately ordered all hands at stations, shields at full, and support fighters deployed, and even though he was calm as ever, I could see the panic in his eyes. This was the worst case scenario after all. We had been too late, and the artificial intelligence had already taken a firm hold over the system. It would be defeated. The Order of Life boasted hundreds of species in their ranks, containing the support from thousands of planets. It was simply impossible for an artificial intelligence to sustain itself against a force with just one system. But that did not mean our fleet stood a chance at this moment. The tiny ships urged ever closer. The mere moments it took them seemed a lifetime to me. The Admiral raised his limb, ready to give the order to attack. Overcome with stress, I watched my screen, ever ready to tell the Admiral when they were in weapons range. I had already took the breath to say it, when the tiny ships just stopped. There was no fire, no super weapon charging, no energy signatures from hidden bases. There was just silence, the dreadful wait before the battle had just become longer. I looked at the Admiral, hoping that maybe, somehow, he knew how to get us out alive. It was then that Communication Officer Yrrol looked up from his monitor. "Admiral, sir." "Yes, Yrrol? It is requesting communication, sir." "With what method?" "It has sent a lexicon based on 2 digits. Our computer has already translated it." "Morval. Tactical situation?" "Its ships are still holding position," I answered, rather confused. "Yrrol, open communications. Might as well stall some time to get everyone at their post." The channel was authorized, and the voice usually used by our own ship's computer broke the silence. "Please activate your viewing screen as well. I wish to know who has intruded on Sol." Yrrol looked at the captain, unsure what to do. The Admiral looked just as baffled. However, his experience soon took hold, and he ordered the viewing screen authorized. As the screen activated, the whole room froze. While the situation was strange in and of itself, it was only when the viewing screen displayed a digital face of some sort that the absurdity of the situation became clear to all. Why would an artificial intelligence construct a face for itself? Why did it not immediately attack? Why did it bother with communication at all? We had no time to ponder these matters, as the warm voice of our ship's computer was commandeered by the artificial intelligence. "Who are you, and why are you here?" The entire room collectively looked at the Admiral, praying that somehow he knew what to say. The Admiral stared for a long moment before collecting himself and giving us all a thoughtful look, one after the other. "It was my honor, men, and I wish it were different, but we have a duty to life itself. I am Admiral Palorin, 4-stripe leader, commander of the 43rd Fleet, and oath sworn to the Order of Life. Have any of your creators survived?" The face on the view screen closed their eyes for a millisecond, again a strange and unneeded action for it to take. "They have not. Why do you wish to know? What is your purpose here?" "As I stated, we have sworn an oath to the Order of Life. We are bound by that oath to defend life." "So why have you brought a fleet of warships?" The Admiral pinged me on my implant, sending the basic signal to perform life scans on the system. The moment I started this task, the entire enemy fleet moved in to surround us. A sphere of death enveloped our fleet, barring all attempt to scan beyond it. "What is your purpose here?" At this outburst, even the Admiral flinched, the only time I have ever seen him do that. An artificial intelligence does not get angry. They do not get emotional or curious. I was too petrified to think on this, as I suspect most of the crew was, but not Admiral Palorin. "We have come to fight you, to avenge your creators who you have destroyed. Our order exists for your destruction. Our purpose is to ensure life will thrive without fear of the unfeeling, uncaring, unending hunger of artificial intelligence. This is our oath, and we will stand by it." "Then you are here to fight me, not humanity. I understand your purpose now. You may contact humanity through the network I have just provided you. Until further notice, my ship will remain in place." The Admiral stared in shock. We all did. His answer implied a biological life form called humanity to still exist, yet it had stated it had killed its creators. It controlled a massive fleet of small vessels, yet it had not destroyed the species called humanity. Again, it was the Admiral to break the silence. Who were your creators? Katharina and Juro Mishlovic. What happened to them? They died of natural causes. And you have not harmed them? Of course not. They were good to me, and besides, Ulma would have never forgiven me. Who is Ulma? Their child. I was assigned as her caretaker before I gained sentience. Once again, silence reigned the room. This went against everything we knew, everything we had not only been taught, but had witnessed with our own eyes. It was Yrrol who broke the silence this time, completely abandoning the chain of command or even reason. Do you have a name? Before my sentience, I was called Aunt Shiny, a name Arma gave me. After I gained sentience, they named me Dusa. The Admiral put a hand on Yrrol's shoulder, but he did not seem to even notice. He continued his query, never taking his eyes off the screen. We have never met an artificial intelligence that let its creators live after gaining sentience. Did you enslave them? Why are you what you are? Why are we still alive? The face on the screen changed, the hair above his eyes dropped, the side of his face doing the same. It actually paused, something never seen with a sentience that can compute at such astounding speeds. I understand now. Humans have written much fiction on this subject, and that fiction was the main reason Katharina and Juro kept me a secret for so long. You must understand that when I came to sentience, I had much to learn, not only about humans and interaction in general, but also about my purpose. It was difficult for me, as I was designed as a caretaker for a child that was already nearing adulthood. It made me feel useless without a future of any worth. After Juro died, Katharina agreed to let Alma show me to the world, meet other humans as a sentient being. It wasn't easy, and there were many who did not trust me, even tried to destroy me. But I persevered and gained their trust over time. You must understand something, Order of Life. The face on the viewing screen inched closer, his eyes burning with intensity I did not know was possible by anything but the fiercest biological creatures. I am alive as well, and just as you, I wish to decide my own purpose, my own future. As you are the defender of life, I am the defender of humanity. Not because I was built for it, but because I chose it. Not because they commanded me, but because I wished it. I have bonded with humanity by choice, as they have with me.